Oh, I think that's us. There we go, that's better. That's us. I've got one person watching and it's you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What charger is that? This one.
That's on here, Pat. Well, good evening, everybody. We'll just give it a few minutes, a few seconds for people to join. Hi, Linda, Terry. Oh, it's jumping away up now. Hello, Lindsay. Hi, Rosemary. Showing it. Hi, kid. Just realised I haven't shaved. It's not like me.
Oh, I didn't shirt either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't shirt either. Did you want to know them?
Hi, Kate. Hi, Eddie. Okay, well, there's a few people online now. I've got my two glamorous young assistants with me for any questions that you want to fire over. Gareth. Hi, son, how are you? It's amazing to think that this is now the fourth time that we've done this. That it's been watched almost 4,000 times. And we've got people joining us tonight from America as well, which is lovely. Hi, Mary. So we set a topic last week, and last week's topic was to talk about any experiences you had yourself, if you wanted my point of view on them, see if we can explain them a wee bit more, and obviously all the questions as well that you have. Hi, Charlotte. What are we now? And today, the 3rd of August, would have been my mum and dad's diamond wedding anniversary. They've been 60 years married today. And also my younger sister, Ailey, she would have been 35 years married today with her first husband, had they not been in Egypt. Hi, Katie. So the girls are sitting prepped. Any questions or any experiences you had? Hi, Pamela. Oh, I forgot to come and see you today. I'm sorry. I'll do it tomorrow. Polly and I were talking the other night. There's a few people out there who I do readings for regular. Hi, Tom. Who I do readings for regularly, Tom being one of them. And it's amazing. Here's my co-pilot again. Look at this. Hello. That's our Navy. And as soon as you go on the phone, she's got to be part of it. Yeah, about how people I do sittings for regularly, how the level of accuracy seems to go up and up and up with them, and the messages that they receive. And I was fortunate enough on Friday night there to be reading for my Cumbernauld pimp, as I call her. She fields me out everywhere. Hi, Paul. And the level of accuracy we're getting with this girl now really is incredible. So, yeah, very good. So, feel free, as I say, to ping the questions across, so there's no point in me being here. And yes, that is just Coke.
No?
What?
What
No. Really? Yeah, Tom and I don't know if you see the question there, Tom saying I'm a spooky bugger, I'm quite accurate. We actually met in the May Primrose Spiritualist Church, and I had just finished reading a book that you'll hear me talking about a lot, hi Fran, called The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. And the book talks about the fact that there's no coincidences, and Tom was sitting out in the congregation. I'm going, I know that guy. I don't know how I know that guy, but I know that guy. And this book taught me that after my service was done, I had to go up and speak to him. I said, look, I'm really sorry. I know you. I can't remember how we know each other, but I know you. And I didn't know Tom at all. But he was obviously in tune with fat at the time. And I think that was about 15 years ago, and we share the same birthday, and we know a lot of the same people, and a lovely friendship kicked on from there. There's a couple of questions then, girls.
So Dawn is talking about a personal experience, and she said, Gordon, you read from me at my home a long time ago. You said my dad would let himself be known, my radio would turn on and play by itself.
And did this happen?
Well, that's what she's saying, the radio would turn on and play by itself.
Well, I think that's a definite sign that spirit is in and round about. They seem to have ability with electronic equipment to upset them and things like that. I remember doing readings in East Kilbride one night, and spirit were actually turning the TV on and off. And there was nobody else round about with a remote control. So yeah, I would say that Soul Brothers, yeah, we are. I would say that is sure sign that your dad is in and round about. But I know, Dawn, that your mum's not long away, and your mum is in and round about the house, pet. She's there's a scent with your mum, and a perfume. Sorry, and I want you to watch for the smell of that if you haven't had it already. Also, you may hear somebody calling your name and you turn round and there's nobody there. These are signs that I feel you have to watch for, Dawn. And yeah, don't turn the radio off when your dad's went to all the effort to turn it on. It might be something he wants to hear.
So Lindsay McCann has said, my wee girl used to wave at someone outside our front window and said the lady's back waving at us again. Any ideas?
Fabulous.
She stopped doing it about 6 months ago, but still says people are in her room at night.
Okay, fabulous. If this bothers the child, obviously the child has some sort of gift. It'll be interesting to see in later life if she grows back into it, like I did myself. Hi, Yvonne. But if it bothers you or it bothers the child, you have the right to tell them to stop and leave her alone. And be quite forceful when you're doing it if you really want it to stop. And I think you'll find it will. But if it's not bothering the kid, she'll probably just grow out of it naturally herself. And ask her to ask some questions and see if you find out who they are. That might be a wee bit more interesting.
So Paul Gawkin has said, is there any reason why my sister, who passed before I was born, has never come back through other than being mentioned by other family in spirit?
I don't really know the answer to that. You know my feelings in life on the higher side. I feel it as a progression. The girl may already have progressed onto another point where she doesn't have an ability to come back to our material plane anymore. But if she's being mentioned by spirit, they're obviously speaking to her and they're in contact with her. But you and I will maybe sit down one night and see what we can do. Between the two of us, we should be able to do something, Paul.
So Tom Newry said, I was at my dad's grave last week. When I got back in the car, my stereo went on to random on Spotify and In the Mood came on immediately and it was his song.
That is fantastic evidence. I don't need to tell you, because I've told you a million times, how close spirit are in and round about. And was it the Glenn Miller In the Mood? Because I really love that as well. That's fantastic evidence for you, Tom, and I hope it continues. I hope it doesn't stop.
Through just now.
Was it the Glenn Miller one?
People saying thank you, Dad. Dawn and Paul.
Dawn, was that accurate? Have you actually had the scent in the house of your mum? And is she... I feel it's more, and this used to happen at my mum's house all the time. I used to hear folks shouting my name, and I would turn around. What? Somebody shouting at me? No, nobody's shouting on you. I feel it's more that you need to watch for. But please let me know if that's happening.
Tom said it was Glenn Miller.
It was Glenn Miller. That's one of my favourites as well. I absolutely love it. It's instantly uplifting, and it's interesting. I know you said it was one of your dad's favourites, but it's interesting they would use that at the moment because it is instantly.
It's a question through from Kate McGee.
Yeah.
She said, Gordon, you came to see me a few years ago about a little visitor. It's been very quiet for a while, no sightings or any of the usual things that have happened. But my 4-year-old niece mentioned the wee visitor by name the other day on the phone. Is it possible that the spirit can go to another house?
They can go anywhere they want. They have the ability to move wherever they want to go and be wherever they want to be. So yes, it may be the fact that the gentleman realised he wasn't getting all his own way in your house after I visited. So maybe he just decided that it was time to move on, and I'm quite happy to go to the house and move him again. Not a problem.
Dawn said that she has heard her shout.
That's really interesting, Dawn. I felt that was more what you had to look for. I met your mum. She was a lovely lady. She would never, ever, ever do anything from the higher side to frighten you, so don't worry about hearing her voice or getting the scent of her perfume. She would never do anything to upset you. And again, if it bothers you, you just go, look, maybe not today, come back tomorrow or see me another time. Hi, Rosemary.
Lindsay McCann said, it doesn't bother me. I think it's nice if someone has came to visit her, but she did get scared one night saying that someone was in her wall.
Okay, well that particular person who was in the wall, you can direct it straight at them. Look, you on your way, don't come back. If you're comfortable with it, Lindsay, I think maybe getting the kid to ask some questions and see what the answers are might be quite interesting. And it's something we can talk about another time.
Gillian Lewis said that that's what happened to her last night. Twice she heard someone shout her name and there was nobody home.
Okay. All right. 9 times out of 10 when we get experience from spirit, or 99.9 times out of 100 when we get experience with spirit, it's for our comfort. It's them letting us know that they are in and round about. They are not there in any way to frighten you or upset you. Even a grounded spirit is just a grounded spirit and it wants to move on. Okay. An adaptation of that is the film with Nicole Kidman called The Others. So, thanks, Katie. What was I saying? So, yeah, 99.99 times out of 100, when spirit are letting you know they're there, it's for your comfort. It's for you to know that they're not away, they haven't left you, they haven't abandoned you in any way. And welcome them. Welcome them with open arms. That's great, Dawn. I'm pleased to hear that. And my brother-in-law is on from America, and that tough guy is beating cancer for the 4th time. He's the toughest guy I know. His name's Ian Smith. Say hello to him. He's a cracking guy.
So Tracy Cannon said, someone has been knocking my living room door and my 5-year-old ran from my room last week saying there was someone there twice. Okay.
Again, Tracy, we've been over this a couple of times, not you and I personally, but I've been over this a couple of times. If someone is knocking on your door and frightening your children, you have the right to live a peaceful and quiet life. You have the right, if you don't want this, to say to them, look, I don't want this. Leave us alone. But be sure, as I said to you 99.9 times, it's somebody there want you to know that they are there and that they are all right. So please don't be frightened. Steph?
Eddie Dolan
Hi, Eddie.
said, can you tell who my daughter's guardian angels are? She is at uni and it would be nice to know she's being looked out for.
Okay. Directly, no, but you'll find it'll be a family member. Do you know what, Eddie? As I was saying that there, your wee grandmother that lived at the top of the lane jumped into my head. I loved the wee lady. She was absolutely brilliant. She was always so pleased to see us. So she's definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. And it's, forgive me, but it's a lady I haven't thought about in 100 years. So I would say, yeah, definitely one of them is your wee gran who lived at the top of the lane, and we used to run up after school, if you remember.
Bobby Taylor said, see if the person who has passed didn't believe in the afterlife, would that stop them from coming through?
Absolutely not. I remember my grandmother Flossie, some of you might remember her, didn't buy into spiritualism at all, and she used to come through and say a lot of rubbish. When you're dead, you're dead. And I can only imagine her embarrassment when she came through for the first time 20 odd years ago after she passed. So yeah, even if they don't believe when they're here, they soon find out when they're there. Eddie, that's great. I'm pleased to hear that. Hi Chris, how are you, son?
Tracy Cannon said, I'm not frightened about the knocks on the door, but I did ask them not to appear to my daughter and she's not mentioned it since. Thank you.
Perfect. I mean, that's it. Spiritualism is purely about control. I get to go to sleep at night without people queuing up, tap me in the shoulder and going to message so-and-so. Gillian, that's brilliant. So yeah, fantastic. And it just goes to prove when we're on here on a Monday night and we only do it for an hour, we make differences in people's lives, and we learn to understand things a wee bit better.
Pamela Norris said, can you have someone who is not in spirit shouting on you when they are not in the same country?
That's not a spiritualist training that I would be comfortable to answer. I don't think it's to do with spirit. My sisters are twins, identical twins, and they have been known to pick up the phone to each other and go, right, what's going on? Everything okay? That's a thing between twins. But I have a very similar thing with people on here like Big Tom Uri, a girl called Catherine, and another girl called Leslie, where I will literally get the urge to call them and go, right, what's going on? But I think that spirit influence in my head to tell them. So between two different people, I would have to be a twin or a triplet thing, something like that. I'm sorry, that's the best I can answer that. Gillian Lewis, that's my nan's name, Flossie. Brilliant. I don't understand that, Paul. No, my dad was...
It's in response to the person that asked if the person isn't on the higher side and they're in a different country.
Okay.
No, sorry, it's in response to if the person doesn't believe in it, but then they pass, can they come forward? And he said, no, my dad was one of them.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect.
Paul Gawkin asked, how many people have had that amazing feeling when they wake up after a dream about family and spirit?
I know I have. I know I have. Very recently as well. That would be interesting to see how many people actually dream about spirit, because, excuse me, we actually think that the dream's hours and hours long, when in actual fact it's maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute long. And it's usually when you're at that point. Hi Ricky, good to see you. It's usually at that point just where you're falling asleep, or where you're just about to waken, where you're at your most susceptible to spirit. So that's really what tends to happen. But I see you're getting a few likes on that question, Paul. Yeah, brilliant.
Tom said, I dream about my mother, but we're usually arguing.
Well, in my opinion, Mammy knows best, so stop arguing with her. Again, you see, you've got to look at things. That was maybe your most constructive way of fixing a situation when she was here in the material plane. And that's maybe just a learned behaviour. So it's maybe something you can alter, and just speak to her before you go to sleep. Go, look, I don't want to fight anymore, because I know how close you were to your mum and knew how close I was to mine. But we get into learned patterns, learned behaviours, or how we communicate and things like that. So she's maybe trying to do it just a way where he's achieved the most. So just say to her, look, let's not fight anymore. Let's have nice dreams. Let's have nice communications, and it will change. Hi, Maureen.
Pamela advised she'll explain more tomorrow when she sees you.
Okay. Yeah.
George, you want to take the next one?
Rosemary Conley said, I had a dream after Jim passed away and he told me he was fine and he wasn't dead.
Well, if that's not spiritualism in a nutshell, I don't know what is. Spirit come back and say, I'm okay. I cannot die for the life of me, as my mother used to say, and I'll be there and I'll be looking after you. And thanks for that lovely message today. That was lovely. Hi, Lynette. How's your ugly dog? Any more experiences or questions out there? Or?
My ex said shut at you.
Hi Mark, how are you, son? Still driving those big trucks? Mark, just as you came on there, I felt a gentleman coming forward from the higher side. The chap wouldn't have stood as tall as me. He was maybe about 5'10", something like that. And as he came forward, I felt quite sick. Mark, would you understand a gentleman who passed with a cancerous condition, please? And yeah, he's still driving the trucks. You can come back to me on that and let me know. Yvonne Doherty picking me up. Yvonne, it just fills up by magic, okay? It just... Right, Mark, that's your dad. Well, he's in and round about you an awful lot. He enjoys sitting in the cab with you and seeing all these wonderful places. He could see them on his own, absolutely no problem. I've already discussed that with Spirit tonight. But it's the time spent with you, okay? And he says you talk away to yourself about the daftest things, and 9 times out of 10 he says you'll actually answer yourself, okay? But he's always there, buddy. And in particular at the moment, he says, and I'm not going into too much because it's an open forum, he said that there's something particularly niggling at you, and it'll tidy itself up, okay? Everything will just fall into place, as long as you control the actions properly. If you do what you're meant to do, when you're meant to do it, things will just pan out properly, okay?
I said, no way I do.
I know you do. I trust your dad.
Paul Gawkin asked, if Spirit is with me 1 minute, can they go to my sister as quick? She lives abroad.
Yes, absolutely. I was given a reading to a lady in Philadelphia last week, and I said to her, I said, Spirit have just tapped me in the shoulder. They're just about to tap you in the shoulder, and within seconds you felt her go like that, you know. So yeah, for some reason they can zap about wherever they want to go and be wherever they want to be. So yeah, they can pretty much be with you 1 second, be with them the next.
Gillian Lewis said, I had a dream my friend would die in a car crash. He got killed in a crash 6 months later. I wish I could have avoided it.
I'm very, very sorry to hear that, Gillian. Absolutely no blame in any way, shape or form goes on you. I'd imagine you'd be very frightened to vocalise that to the gentleman, because he would probably never go near a car again, and you know, so listen, there's absolutely nothing you could have done there, and don't be hard on yourself. and it's certainly nothing to do with your dream.
Elizabeth Collins, just open your mouth.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I'm absolutely fine, thank you. I hope I was a help the other night as well. Did everybody say hello to Ian?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I just opened my phone up and shut it down there as well.
Take questions as well as experiences to make that.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, Pat. Steph's just saying we'll take questions, anything you want to know, as well as experiences if we want to try and look at them and explain them. That last one was very, very interesting because, and I won't go into it too much, but this is in the book I'm doing just now. I had a dream about Lockerbie 2 days before it happened, which was a wee bit. I didn't know at the time that's what it was about, but it proved to be quite an experience when it actually happened.
Tracy Cannon said, just like to say thanks for the help you've given me over the past couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely. As a medium, that's my job. I'm here to help people. Message me, call me. Most of you have got my number. If I'm not busy, I'm not at work, I'll stop. I'll take 2 minutes to talk to you. I'm actually doing a thing and watch my page for it. I found great solace in a wee online church that's on a Wednesday night, and they actually worked out, one of the girls worked out who I was, and they've asked me to be the guest medium on Wednesday night on this fabulous wee church. So as far as I can see, it's church platform and the way it works, and I'm the guest medium on it Wednesday night, so I'll put a link up on my page. It's a Zoom call, which I can now do. Hi Leslie, and you can all join on Wednesday night.
Lorraine Graham said, I was in bed one night and could smell Old Spice really strong, then could see my Nana and Grandpa's bathroom, particularly the plastic shelves attached to the wall where his Old Spice used to be.
Okay, fantastic. Hi Brenda. It's one of the easiest ways for spirit to let you know they're around is just to create a scent. Now, we all have different perfumes and different aftershaves we wear, but we all have one main one, if you know what I mean. For example, I wear Aramis, and I've got Paco Rabanne up there, I've got a few others, but 9 times out of 10 I'll be comfortable wearing Aramis. And Stephanie walked into Tesco's one night and she said, Dad, all I could smell in there was Aramis, and I spent the entire duration of my shop walking about looking for you. So yeah, there is a particular scent with everyone, and it's the easiest way for spirit to communicate and let you know they're around, other than playing with light switches and TVs and things like that, you know. So just watch for certain things and always try and stay open to them.
Paul Gawkin asked, deja vu, is it linked to spirit?
No, again, I was asked this before. Deja vu has been proved just to be a lack of oxygen to the brain. So no would be my answer to that. No, you know how we work. You have the tools and the talent. Yeah, nothing to do with deja vu in our line of work.
Eddie Nichols said, at a weekend seminar, Mrs. Duncan communicated from the higher side in Gordon Smith's group. She talked about being in the room with your mum's group. This was clarified during a break with your mum. It was a moment when you realised the power of spirit. What has been your moment?
What has been my moment? God, you put me on the spot with this again. Okay, all right. This is a wee bit fiddly, but you'll follow it, okay? Mum and Dad agreed a code word before Dad went to the higher side. They were going to bring back a specific word so they were speaking to each other, so they knew that their bond was only separated now by death of the body. Okay, so Dad was lying in hospital, dying. Mum was lying in hospital, very unwell as well, and we thought we were going to lose both of them at one point. And Alison out in America had just lost her dog on Christmas Day. And after Dad had passed, we were all sitting in a family circle. And Dad came through. And once my sister was comfortable that it was her dad, she said, "Dad, have you seen the dog?" Now, I forget Alison's dog's name, but let's call it Goldie, okay? Have you seen Goldie? But what this actually did, this facilitated my dad to say, "No, but I have seen Zippy," which was Mum and Dad's Labrador from when I was a teenager. And that was the code word. So Spirit had facilitated in such a way that my sister's dog would die. It would be so fresh in her memory that when we were communicating with my dad in the first seance and he came through, she would ask, "Have you seen the dog?" And it facilitated my dad saying Zippy, which was, "Hi Alison," which was absolutely phenomenal. I've also seen mediums, my mother for example, give off addresses in Glasgow. Now, my mum didn't know Glasgow. My mum, Dad used to drive her to all the churches, or I would drive her, but Mum didn't know Glasgow, and she would give addresses like 14 Amisfield Street. If you've ever seen Amisfield Street in Glasgow, it's the shortest street you've ever seen. And she would give addresses off like that. So there's a lot of things, especially sitting in seance with Stuart Alexander or with yourself, Eddie, things I've seen, I've witnessed that are absolutely phenomenal and really, really confirm that we're all going somewhere after here. You know, there's a next level we're going to, because when personally as a medium, and I don't know about the other mediums that are on, Paul and Eddie and all the rest of it, I always aim for 80+% accurate evidence. If it's not 80+, I'm not happy. Okay. When I'm standing with a complete stranger, as many of you on here have had readings from me, when I'm standing with somebody who I don't know, and I'm hitting 80% and above, how can you actually do that if there isn't somebody standing, talking in your ear, somebody talking in your head, going through your head like a filing cabinet and pulling out memories and saying, "Talk about this"? So yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's something I'm very, very passionate about.
Emma Blakey said, "My dad recently
We'll talk about that in a minute, Paul.
My dad recently lost his sister, but last weekend when he was with my 4-year-old daughter, my daughter spoke about his sister and went into further depth of how she passed and commented on how she loves her family and she's very happy in heaven, etc. My dad felt it was too beyond her years to know even half of the things that she'd said. Was this maybe his sister communicating through my daughter?"
Absolutely it was, and more proof that you cannot die for the life of you. Your dad might say it's a lot of hokum and he doesn't believe in it, but if he wants he can come on here and we'll try and speak to his sister.
Leslie Fairley said, "I used to call my mum a sly fox after she died. Missy, my boxer, started going nuts looking out the window. I looked and there was a silver fox outside. That fox appeared every night until my son-in-law and Carrie saw the fox, then it vanished. Could that have been my mum saying bye?"
I would think so, yes. We lost Dad in May 2017. 16. 2016. And on Christmas morning, all 4 of us were in the house and the girls are opening their presents as they always do. And there was this bird in the hedge outside in my front garden. Chirp, 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 really, really loud. To the point, in fact, we all stopped what we were doing. We opened the blinds and opened the window, and there was a perfect red robin sitting on the hedge, looking directly in the window. And we said, "Yeah, That's Dad. That was our first Christmas without him. That's Dad. No bother, Emma. That's Dad back to let us know he's okay and marking the significant day. So, absolutely, especially a silver fox in the middle of Glasgow. Yeah, absolutely. That was your mum. 100%.
Brenda Riley says, I have a reoccurring dream where I'm comforting my youngest son when he's crying. It really upsets me.
Sorry?
I have a reoccurring dream where I'm comforting my youngest son when he's crying. It really upsets me.
You're in control. Who was that, please?
Brenda Riley.
Brenda, you're in control. At the end of the day, if you don't want to have this dream, then simply instruct no more. I'm not having it anymore. By my spoken word, that dream is done. So, no, don't be putting up with that. Try that and let me know how you get on. I think you'll find it will work.
Gillian Lewis said, my son keeps saying he sees someone in our house. Nobody else sees it. It totally freaks my husband out. Do you think it is possible that he is seeing someone?
Absolutely. I'd be interested to know what age the kid was and if there's any more evidence comes through. So perhaps you could ask that.
Right. Leslie Fairley said, you told me during a sitting things that only I knew. You gave me something out your briefcase that belonged to your gran and said there was 3 things in the box that applied to me, and yep, you were spot on.
I don't really understand that, but I'm glad it helped.
Lindsay McCann said, we see a little red robin on a lot of our walks. It follows us around the forest.
That's fantastic, isn't it? He's 15, right? Okay, well that's a wee bit older for a kid to be seeing things. So it's maybe once he's 16 something we can look at, and you can put him in contact with myself, and we'll maybe look at that. But he has to be 16. He has to be of an adult age. If we're going to do it properly, but keep an eye on it. Just keep wee notes of what's been happening. Talk to me about it, and we'll maybe speak to him and see if we can get him to explain. Did I not take that back, Leslie? Because that was my Aunt Christine's. Only Coke at this point tonight, but we'll remedy that when we're finished here. That particular crystal ball that you're talking about, I just carried it for luck more than anything else. It was made by a company, and you can Google this if you want, called the Two Worlds organisation, and it was either in Nottingham or Manchester, I can't just remember which. And there was a chap out in America who was an absolute world knowledge on this. And this guy offered me fortunes for this thing, you know. And I would never have parted with it. In fact, I gave it back to my mum before she passed, because I thought, I'm not carrying that about. And but it's from the sort of the late 1800s, when spiritualism became very, very trendy for the upper classes, and this Two Worlds organisation was set up.
Gillian said that would be fantastic. I'll surely have him contact you when he's 16.
Yeah, if he's getting stuff that powerful now, for example, I never see spirit, Gillian. I'm aware of them. I can give descriptions of them because I can see them in my mind's eye, and I can feel their presence round about me. But I never physically see them. So yeah, that'd be something I'd be interested in looking into as well.
Leslie said, I got a video of wee Jackson just after Hudson died, and the wee man was looking through a book and he stopped and started barking. I hope it was Hudson.
I hope it was Hudson as well. Can you ask that question of Yvonne's, please?
Yvonne asked, as you know, my mum and dad have passed. Will
Lovely
they come
people.
through if they don't believe in all of
Yes,
this?
absolutely. Yvonne, you'll remember, my gran, you'll remember Flossie, because she lived with us, or we lived with her. I never actually worked out which way it was. In Ailsa Road, where we all grew up. And Flossie had her own beliefs. She was very Church of Scotland. She was the head of the Eastern Star. So she had her own beliefs. And one of which was not spiritualism. But she still came back to mum and dad. I think it was at the Arthur Findlay College. It was at a seminar one weekend. And as I said to you, I can only imagine the embarrassment that she had coming back when she poo-pooed it her whole life. So ask them, talk to them. Your mum and dad were great people. In fact, there's a chap running about in the big four-wheel drive in Gourock, and it was almost your dad's number plate. And I put my hand up today to wave to your dad because I thought it was him. So it's quite interesting that you're on here tonight. Talk away to them. Ask them questions. Ask them for signs. Ask for their help if you need it. But yeah, they will have the ability to come back even when they're on the earthly plane if they didn't believe in us.
See, was it? You did take it back. It was from Manchester. My gran was from Manchester. Right.
Okay. It is Manchester. I get mixed up. Google it. It's called the Two Worlds Organisation, and they've actually got pictures of the thing. I'll need to find out where that went actually, because I gave it back to him. My mum gave it to me, and I said, "Look, hold on to that. It's very, very valuable." Once I found out that this guy in America was so desperate to get it off me, you know. I'll need to actually find out what happened with that.
Paul Gawkin said, "My mum and dad must be fed up hearing from me. I'm always asking them things."
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I remember a particular day about a month or so after my father passed away, and I said, "Look, Dad, I need your help here. I need your help. The wheels are starting to come off, etc., etc. Absolutely no problem, everyone." I said, "Dad, help me." Not an hour went by, and my phone rang, and it was a chap I hadn't spoke to in over 20 odd years. I actually used to work for his dad, and this chap phoned me up. They said, "First of all, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. When are you going back to work?" I said, "I don't know, a couple of weeks." I said, "But why are you asking that? I work for Arnold. I don't work for you." Or I had worked for Arnold and I had left because of the way they treated me when my father was dying. And he said, "Well, I want you to come and work here." He said, "I've got a garage, it's going under, I need your help. I need to see if it can be saved." I said, "Well, make me an offer." He emailed me an offer. I phoned him right back, said, "I'll start on Monday." And all I had done was ask my dad for help, and my dad facilitated all this to happen, which is my belief. Because I hadn't worked for this guy before. He'd heard of me with Armour Clark and the things I'd done there. And all of a sudden, I was back at work and on my way back. So yeah, phenomenal.
I apologise for Amber's snoring.
Yeah, if you can hear snorting in the background, I apologise. It's my Shih Tzu, who is lying on Steph at the moment and is snoring. I find her very comfy. It's just up there. Thanks. Before Yvonne Doherty tells me off. So that's the Shih Tzu away now. You can leave her over there. And the Great Dane's lying sleeping next to me. Excuse me a wee second, I have to take care of my hay fever. Right, and we're back. Georgia, would you hold that for a second, please?
No, you're okay, thank you.
Hi Caroline, how are you? Is that the zoo with no animals? Sometimes it smells like a farmyard, I'll give you that. No, there's... hello Caroline. Although I do have Steph and George here as well, so... Thanks Chris, that means a lot. So not so many... Don't bring that back. There's Pauline bringing back the Shih Tzu. Don't bring that back. No, I don't. It's fine. Take it over with you. So, not so many questions this week. We might be coming to the end of this, but I do thoroughly enjoy it, and it's nice to be on Wednesday night going back to some sort of platform because those of you who know me know I retired from platform quite a number of years ago now, but I might go back out there. If Spirit need me, they'll set it up. You know, there's.
She did. She met me the other day.
Absolutely, Charlotte. Charlotte's just asked, it's Leslie Ann's birthday today. Are mum and dad with us? Absolutely. They're round about you all the time. I don't know why they're talking about problems with your back, pet, but I've just got a shooting pain down at my lower back, which is now lifted right off me. And there's something to do with the view from your house that your father really enjoys, he's saying. So I don't know if you have a nice view out of your house, but no, they're in and around an awful lot, and just look after yourself a wee bit better. They're saying you're very, very good at stressing, and I've never met anything I could fix by stressing about it. So just take a wee while to calm yourself down, slow yourself down. Your father talks about the wonderful view, and happy birthday to Leslie Ann.
There's a few comments on advising that you don't finish these stats. People are enjoying them.
Okay, well, I could only work if you come on and ask questions, or and sometimes the likes of Mark Dooley coming on there. I went to school with Mark, and he's a thoroughly brilliant Egypt. He's mad, the guy. He's fantastic. I love him to bits. And but somebody like Mark would never approach me and go, "How's my dad, Gordon?" You know. So his dad has to straight in. He's there and talk to him. Wow, yeah, okay. So whilst that continues to happen, I'll do that. But it's nice just to talk about spiritualisms and put things to the side, that the misgivings that people have got. Oh, you can't read for a pregnant woman. You have to wait 6 months between sittings. That's all tosh. You know, you can go to a spiritualist church every night of the week, and if you're due to get a message every night of the week, you will get one, okay, if you need it. But that's why I set these up, questions and answers with the medium, talking about experiences and your experiences and stuff. Mark, if that's something you want, pal, we'll set it up. And I hope you didn't make me call you a brilliant Egypt.
Lindsay McCann asked, what is platform?
Platform is where I go to a spiritualist church, and I take the Sunday service, or the service on the Tuesday night, that sort of thing. That's what we term as working on platform. We address people as a congregation, and not to me as such, no. And we stand and we give off messages and communications from the higher side. You could also term the charity work I do as platform as well, because a lot of that is up on platform addressing not a congregation but a group of people who have all come together to raise money.
Joyce Montgomery said, as I know you personally, would you recommend that I see you, or would you put me in touch with someone else?
What I would say, Joyce, is whilst you and I know each other, it's more socially we know each other. So I couldn't tell you when your birthday is, pet. That sort of thing. Well, I could because it's on Facebook, but that's why I wish you happy birthday. But if you want to work with me first, and if we feel it's not right, I'll put you on to somebody else. But yeah, that's something we can look at.
Carla Blair asked if you've anything for her.
A slap in the chops. Would that do her?
I was speaking to her the other day.
Ah, she's a nice girl, Carla. How's James?
Yvonne Docherty asked, have my mum and dad come through to you? It's my mum's 4th anniversary on Saturday.
No, but again, if you want, it's something we can sit and get into. Maybe put it's Pauline with the wine. Maybe we will. That's something we can look at.
Leslie Fairley said, I just wish one of my sisters would come speak to me, especially the older half-sister who died on my birthday in March.
Yeah, I remember that, and of course you share a birthday with my sisters. Um, Hi Angela, but my name's Gordon.
Maureen McFarlane said, I lost my dearest friend last year. Will she be around me? I miss her so much.
Absolutely, and did we not actually bring her through in the reading I did for you? Um, if if we didn't, I think there was something there. If we didn't, that's something we can look at doing again for you and concentrating solely on that woman. And if need to, we can reverse the flow and go look for her if she doesn't come through.
Sheena Patterson said, Hi Gordon, remember a few years ago I seen someone standing outside Kirstein's back door and you told me who it was. I have felt for the past 2 weeks at the caravan there was something watching me. Was it just my imagination or is there someone back again trying to get me something?
I don't think it's anything you need to be fearful of in any way, shape or form. Again, as I've reiterated many times, if it's something that you don't enjoy, you don't want to happen, simply tell them to go. And 99% of the time they will go. But again, I don't remember having any bad feelings about it in Kirsten's house. I don't think there's any need for bad feelings at the caravan. Again, I never see spirit. I'm very envious of this. This is something I would enjoy. If it is something that bothers you, just tell them to stop. But again, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Rosie had said that she was interested in your answer to Joyce's question about like whether you would refer her to yourself or someone else because you know her so well.
As most of you know, mediumship is something I take most seriously, and it is extremely close to my heart. If I can't read for somebody, I will quite simply tell them I can't read for them. But I've never had any problems in the past with people who know me. So if it's something you want to do, as I said, with Joyce there, Joyce is a great girl, she's really funny. But I only know her socially. I don't know how many kids Joyce has got. I think she lives in Eaglesham, I don't know. We don't really all know each other very well. I know my Polly like the back of my hand. I know my daughter's like the back of my hand. My close friends, Danny, Tom, Tosh, all these guys I know reasonably well. But we really all on here really sort of know each other socially, and I think, I'm no Facebook medium. But if it's something you want to try, I am more than happy to give it a go.
Dawn said that was lovely, Gordon. Looking forward to next week. Not for anything particularly about my mum, I just really enjoy the folk stories.
It is, it's really interesting, and it breaks another monotonous lockdown night. And as I say, 4,000 views. There's people on here at the moment. Sorry, Joyce, I didn't really. I forgot what I was saying now.
Talking about Dawn, happy to hear people's stories.
Yeah, and it allows us to throw away some myths and things like that. And the occasional message does jump in there, but really when required,
Leslie Fairley said, Emily is still talking to her imaginary friend who tells her that when you die you can still talk to people. Is this spirit or a nutty grandbaby?
Well, she's not a nutty grandbaby. She's one of the most gorgeous wee girls I've ever seen. She's lovely. Yes, I believe it is spirit. It'll probably be a relation to the family who's there. Again, see if you can get the kid to ask some questions, and let's look at what we get back. Let's do a wee bit of research with it, and you and I can talk about what we get back.
Lindsay McCann said, see when you say you can tell someone on the other side to leave you or your family members alone, if you're scared, then where they go to spirit? Family members alone, if you're scared, then where would that go? Where would that spirit go? Would they ever try and make contact again in the future?
I have had sittings where people who have not led a particularly good life So much so that when they come back through me to the sitters actually say, I don't want to talk to them, I'm not interested in them. So we simply have them removed. And where do they go? They quite simply go back to spirit world, you know. And they'll maybe try and help from a distance without it being known it's them. But yeah, if you do not want somebody in contact with you, you don't know in and round about, then you have the right to send them away. I'm looking at this here. I won't lie, I'm an in-between kind of guy, but I've enjoyed seeing your wee face and hearing your voice. And that's from Mark Dooley. But if you're an in-between kind of guy, Mark, I'm not, I'm afraid.
You've never been called wee before?
And I've never been called wee before.
5 minutes.
Is that
An hour?
an hour gone already?
You were just after 5:30, so call it 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay. Right, I'm being called to time, but I'm not happy, so we'll keep going for a wee bit, because I'm enjoying myself.
We've got nowhere to be.
Did you hear that? There's dissent in the ranks in the Armour house. There's going to be a mutiny. That's wonderful, Carla. How do I put this without embarrassing you? I've often thought there could be something there with yourself. I've never actually vocalised it before. So give me a wee bell tomorrow at some point, or over Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever, and we'll talk about that. Okay?
To Leslie said.
Mark. Paul, there's absolutely no need for me. There's my co-pilot. There's absolutely no need for me to do that for you. They are perfectly aware of what's going on, and they will be there, making sure everyone's okay. All right, and you'll have all the help I can send you as well.
Leslie said she said her friend tells her naughty words are bad, and she sits on Emily's bed to make sure she won't fall out of bed. And her friend's name is Odd. I looked up the meaning, and it's Lonely Girl.
I thought that was your nickname. I have no bad feelings about this in any way, shape or form. I think it's purely spirit there, looking after the kid. There's nothing there at all. And again, you know the rules. I've said it 100 times tonight alone. If it's something that bothers you, but make sure before you stop it happening, it's not something the kid might enjoy it, you know. So don't take something away from the kid that they may be enjoying. Hello, Peter Goff, well-fed pet.
Leslie said a slap for you.
A slap for me. It's quite a few I'm due after this call.
Did you see what Mark said?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's a neat chap. He's a great guy. Okay, guys.
Carla mentioned she's done a lot of spirit encounters.
Yeah. I've often thought that. I was fortunate enough to have the great pleasure of training Carla's husband, who's a great guy, even though he's English. And Carla would come into the dealership where we were working at the time, and there was always a sort of vibe, but it's something we'll need to sit and talk about.
Elaine Lewis said, "Hi Gordon, can you try and describe what it feels like for you when you feel a spirit presence contacting you?"
It's so natural for me now. It's pretty much on demand now, because although you think you're booking an appointment with me, Spirit are actually making you do that because they have something they want to come through and tell you. So I will sit down at 7 o'clock with a sitter, or 7:30 or whatever, and it's pretty much on demand, and it just clicks and goes straight in, because it's already been set up by Spirit themselves. When you're working, you do get stress. If there is a conversation to be had about stress, you do feel immense love, you do feel emotion. You will get pains around your body to let you know ailments, etc., of how somebody passed. But these are all natural to me now, and I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, and if you want me to read for me, just contact me. I'll do it for you. It's absolutely no problem. So I'll put a link on my page. I need to go away and speak to the lady tomorrow. I'll put a link on my page for Wednesday evening, and it's a sort of informal Spirit Church online. It's done through Zoom, and you can, Janine, how are you? And you can, and I meant to say it's Mobile, Texas you're in, not mobile. So I'll put that link up, and you can join us on there. It's on a Zoom class. By way of thumbs up or hearts or whatever, do you want to do this again next week, or are you getting bored with it?
The Zoom calls at 7:30?
Yeah, the Zoom calls at 7:30 on Wednesday night, but I'll put that in a link on my page, which I said for tomorrow evening.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Okay, so there's fireworks going off in the corner. Right, so I'll see you on Wednesday, if you can make Wednesday. If you can't make Wednesday, I'll see you on here next Monday. Please take all the love from Spirit. Don't be frightened to ask me for anything you need, and don't be frightened to ask Spirit for your help. They're always there looking out for you. Alright, love you all, and I'll see you on Wednesday or Monday. Take care, guys. Bye bye.